Hey everybody, I'm Lisa Leslie. Welcome back to the second episode of Between the Lines presented by Microsoft Copilot. Listen, I've heard from you guys, more than 50,000 views already on the first episode. You guys have been reposting it on X. So thank you so much. We really appreciate the support. And I'm excited to introduce my next guest, which is the beautiful, the lovely, but also the smart and talented two-time All-Star, the 2023 Most Improved Player in the league. Yes, leading the Phoenix Mercury right now. We're going to get all into that. But it's the unicorn, Satou Sabally. Satou, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks, Lisa. I appreciate it. That was a great intro. I'm hyped up.
I am so excited to just really talk about all things Satou, all things WNBA. So let's get into it. But before we even get past getting into the team, somebody just dropped their first new shoe that looks like fire, the signature PE with the Adidas called the Unicorn Dawn 6.
Yep, it's a theme. Legend becomes myth, and it's basically just like a whole storytelling around my unicorn journey and making an impact here in America. So it's just I don't know having. It's honestly remarkable for me to have that shoe with Adidas. Strong ties to Germany. My little brothers were involved too, so they're very proud of it, and it just makes me even happy to step on that court.
Yeah, it's dope. And then I got a chance to look at it closely. I saw you have some real details that are personal to you, which I love when it's a signature shoe, because then when people buy it, they feel like they're connected to you. But I saw you had on the inside epic things, zero fear. What do those two things mean to you?
Yeah, epic things is my mantra. Continue to do epic things is what Kobe wrote into my book, The Mindful Athlete. So I'm very big on mental health. And that is just kind of something I really tell myself. I'm like, hey, what a dream it is to play in the WNBA. How great it is to have such an impact on the future generation. So that's an epic thing alone in itself. But to continue to grind, because it is pretty epic to do so continuously over the course of the years. And then zero fear stems from my number. And it's really just telling myself, like, have zero fear. I know that sometimes I get a little nervous, but I really trust my journey and trust where I'm at. So I can really approach every single game with that grit and tenacity that it takes.
And let me just tell you guys, for you guys who are not following somehow and don't know, Satou was tearing it up. She's at Phoenix Mercury. This is her first season there, averaging 20 points. What's the vibe like? Like changing teams and getting in Phoenix, where we know Diana Taurasi has been, it's been her place. And now here you come. BG is gone. How's that feel? How's the new city? How's the new fans? All of the experience.
I am loving it. I feel like I'm getting the ultimate WNBA, NBA treatment here. I feel like I finally arrived into the WNBA, and then
Mhm.
being able to do so for a team like the Mercury, where DT has just really made an impact beyond just the game. BG and her story, like there's just so much foundation to be built on, and legacy to continue, that I come into the gym every day motivated. We're on that Diana
Mhm.
Taurasi court, and I'm just like, yeah. I mean, why would I ever go lackadaisical in a practice while I'm standing on that court? So it comes with pride. But then one thing that I've really learned from this whole transition is how much I've underestimated transitioning teams.
Wow.
You leave your home. I've built a home in Dallas, and I built, strong connections. And I didn't realize how much that actually changed when you go into a new environment. You have to
Mhm.
learn 40 new names day one. You have to learn new schemes. You just get to know new people in the city and the city
Mhm.
itself. Besides me loving the heat, I think, the first workouts were definitely crazy.
It's hot.
It's hot. You just realize it's
Yeah.
different out here, but you also realize that you do build a different kind of strength through that.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
I'm absolutely embracing it. I'm loving it, and I just love the challenge too.
I thought you chose Phoenix, and maybe you have, but clear this up for me, because there was something about a four-way trade that I kind of didn't understand, or maybe I didn't know, because so much talk was about Kelsey Plum and other players, that it was kind of like, is Satu going to go join her sister in New York, and are we going to see a reunion with you and Sabrina? But then it was like you and Alyssa Thomas went to Phoenix.
Yeah.
Was there a trade that happened, or did you choose Phoenix?
So there was a trade that happened, but I also chose Phoenix. In the
Okay.
end, I think I was also lucky in my position that I had some type of value to be traded for. And obviously, like Dallas made their decision to move ways with me because I felt like it was ready to go. I felt like it was time for a change. And
Hmm.
I looked at all the teams, and my top two teams were really New York and Phoenix. And in the end, I just kept telling myself, I'm like, where am I going to be the best player that I can be in 2 years? So already looking into the future, where will I be challenged into
Hmm.
really evolving into the player I want to be? And my heart was torn. My sister, my friends, like everything. But it's really, basketball is the life I choose, and I love a good challenge. So I was just like,
Hmm.
no, Phoenix was just calling my name, getting to know At and Ka. They just pulled me aside, and we spoke really for the first time. Ka and I really had a chance to sit together in Miami while we were playing the Unrivaled season.
Oh, okay. Hmm.
And that's when I was like, no, I like her mindset. I
Yeah.
really like what you're talking about in At. I mean, it's self-explanatory. Like, I hated playing against her, so why not have her on my team?
She is a handful.
Right. Once that was settled, it was more so like a gut feeling. But I'm happy that Dallas also worked with
Mhm.
us together to get that done, and I'm very grateful for an organization to even do so. I don't know what in the end happened, but my
Yeah.
prayers were answered, and Phoenix was the move.
Having a sister in the WNBA, the fact that you guys come from a household of athletes and two
Mhm.
sisters to make it all the way pro, what does that feel like for you? Can you just give us a little bit, peel back a few layers? Because let me just say this, I have sisters. They're not basketball players, but sometimes you either have sisters that are like cheer for you and they celebrate you, or you kind of got sisters that's a little bit low key jealous and trying
Mhm.
to get what you have. Like, what's the
Mhm.
relationship between you and your sister?
My sister is my biggest supporter, and I'm her biggest supporter. Throughout college, we never got to play together, and we always missed each other by an inch. I don't know. We just embraced really growing together and being able to support each other. So last year during the championship, I was at every single one of her games, and I really embraced that sister role. So I wanted her to win. I'm like, bring that ring to the family, And now I'm
Yes.
motivated by her to just go all the way because I saw how hard it is. I saw what she was going through. And, just like laying next to her after games, it's just like, yeah, let me give you that energy. And we really pour into each other. And I hope that
Mhm.
this year I really hope that we play in the finals against each other. I
Oh,
think
wow.
I
Okay,
want that. It's
prediction.
either yes, it's either that or the semis. That's really my goal. So I don't
Mhm.
know. She has had a hard journey, and she's persevered so much that I just
Mhm.
always feel like I have no excuse. Like, let me do this. So I'm very inspired by her, but she also always tells me how much she appreciates me paving the way and really
Yeah.
doing the first steps, coming to America, getting your education here, moving away from
Mhm.
family, being the
Yeah.
big sis that helps out. It's just something that I also do with pride, but obviously there's so much love.
I love that. I love that. So
Mhm.
then you brought up Alyssa Thomas and Kahleah Copper, which we know you
Yeah.
guys are the big three. We only saw a
Mhm.
little snippet of it in the preseason before Ka went out. What was it like when you guys were like on the court together? And are people underestimating what the Mercury are going to be when you guys all three get back on the court together?
Yeah, Lisa, I might sound like a hater, but we only have one TV game, and I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, the disrespect is real, but it's okay. I feel like we're kind of in the shadows, and we're just forming our bonds. And yeah, the first time, coming back to your question, the first time we were all on the court, it just made sense. Of course, we had some like mistakes on like backdoor cuts or, reads where you just have that chemistry down, where that other person is going. But
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
we, we're still all feeling each other out in training camp. And then the game started, and I think we're just all at such a high IQ that
Mhm,
we do things that make sense, and we're all very
mhm.
like selfless players that
Yeah.
that move the ball, that can also attack, and that are so dangerous. So I think now you can see while those two are out, the concentration on me was very different. But while those two are on the court, I mean, you can't help away from Ka. You can't help away from
Mhm.
AT. Like, she draws 2-3 people, or they draw 2-3 people every time they touch the ball. So
Mhm.
it just really created a symbiosis between one another,
Okay.
that we can't wait to all just, I don't know, be
Be
out there
together.
together. Obviously it was a little setback, but it makes other people better on the team too, and I think a lot of people have stepped up to a good challenge.
Absolutely. And it's been nice to see because listen, you guys are in fourth place. You're doing your
Hmm.
thing, you're holding it down. And that's kind of the idea, right? It's not about who necessarily wins and has the best record right now. It's like who can
Hmm.
get to the playoffs, especially since there's so
Hmm.
many games. Speaking of games, you did say
Hmm.
publicly, I think it was a few days ago, that you guys have played 9 games in 18 days.
Hmm.
And I'm sure that's difficult. In some aspects, I read that and I'm going, well, that means you don't have any practices because
Hmm.
you have so many games. But also, it's
Hmm.
kind of like, it feels like probably a lot because you have so many
Hmm.
injured players as well.
I'm the last person to want to complain, because obviously then you have a target. Oh, she's weak. Like, oh, she can't play that many games. The alleged responses too were just like, oh my God, she's complaining like you guys want more money and all that. But it's not about that. It's about player safety. It's about recovery and the best performance that we can give. And I think to
Mhm.
start off a season like that, it's just not really smart for like for scheduling with the
Mm.
roster spots that we do have. And then we did face some adversity with, injuries. So then we were down to 7 players, had to
Yeah.
re-sign 2 other players for hardship contracts and all that movement. So it was a lot going on. But as a member of the union and as a CBA committee co-chair, we're trying to apply pressure right now on the WNBA, and we are trying to make things right for the future and for the next years. We have our CBA negotiations coming up. We're currently in them. I mean, obviously in conversations with the leagues, and these are just things that us as players who don't have a pension, who have basic medic coverage, I just feel like these are things that us as players and us as Black women who don't have any type of maternity leave, like our salaries go against it. So there's so many other things that go against it that I feel like I have the right to complain about these things, because
Mm.
they add up. They add up. It's a very physical game. This is like the 1 percentile of women in strength. So every game you get beat up. We see that.
Mm.
I would say we're one of the most physical leagues. I would even argue we're more physical than the NBA. So yes, it is a difference. And I just
Yeah.
feel like um, it's time to address these things that surround themselves around player safety. And even now, like, it's opening up another window for me to actually address other issues that are pertaining in the league.
Okay. Well, thanks for addressing it. I want to
Hmm.
talk a little bit more about your game before
Hmm.
we get into like WNBA headlines. Now, your game has grown in every situation. Phoenix seems to have really unlocked something in you. And you and I have talked about this privately, obviously not in front of people,
Hmm.
about just where you want to be as a leader, mentally, physically out there. How do you
Hmm.
feel? Because I mean, you're right in that middle where you're a veteran, but then you're still like, oh, she's still kind of a baby, but you're a veteran too. Because now
Hmm.
with AT out, your leadership skills are showing. We see you talking to the rookies. How's that role been for you?
It's been challenging but fun. I think I'm always a person that embraces challenges,
Mhm.
and I think just having the coaching staff around me that also like trust me to take these shots that I'm sometimes hesitant to take, because I do think about others. I'm like, I think that pass would have been better, or I think we could have gotten a different shot later on in the shot clock. But it's like, no, we really needed to score in that moment. You're free to take
Mhm.
that shot. So just having that reassurance feels nice, but also
Mhm.
knowing that things have been placed around me with so much care and precise like accuracy when it comes
Mhm.
to 3-point percentages, when it comes to people really having high numbers in offensive rebounding. Like, things really make sense around me where I can just let myself go and play. Like,
Mhm.
our defense, I think we have like the number 1 in the league right now, or number 2. is
Mhm.
outstanding, and me being challenged it that way too. It's like, no, it's not okay just to sink off of someone else that might make the shot, no, like pressure her so she's not back there being a quarterback. So like me being on
Right.
Chelsea Gray is a cool new challenge for me. Me being on, like other players like Ezzy more in the post, who is a phenomenal lefty with that layup. Like I feel like I'm just growing in many ways because they're
Yeah.
already preparing me for someone, like for something bigger than I've been doing so far.
And when I think about your game, and again, your nickname, the Unicorn. Wait, first of all,
Mhm.
where did you get this nickname from? Like, who was the first person to call you the Unicorn? Because I love it.
Yeah, that was Kelly, definitely at Oregon. He
Okay.
was just like, Satou, you're just like a unicorn. And then obviously Mark also really embraced that term for me. And at first I was a little, I'm like, unicorns are so soft. Like I'm not soft, because you think about like a fairy tale, and I'm like, oh,
Right,
come
right.
on. But I think people, once they get to know me, they actually really see that I'm like super bubbly and like really nice, and also like I have a big heart, so I'm a little softy.
Yeah,
And on the court, I'm just like really intense. So I
yeah.
feel like I do everything. Like I can really score on three levels. I
Mhm.
can defend any type of position. So it's just really that versatility that gave me that name, and
Yeah.
just also being there for others.
Do you ever see any other players that you think could that have the unicorn qualities that you play against in the
Hmm.
W?
Yes. And I had a conversation with her like early on. I like Angel because she is really a 6'5" post that brings the
Mhm.
ball up. So these,
Mhm.
like, that was something that made me stand out a little bit, that you're this tall and you can bring up the ball and you can actually like set up a play. So it goes beyond the, okay, am I just finishing or am I just rebounding? No, can I actually set up a play? Can I play for other people? Now, she doesn't
Mhm.
have to pick and roll yet, but the fact that she's very comfortable with the ball, being able to dribble around, is really great. Um, Kiki, I would say she's also a young rookie that I've been a fan of because she's
Yeah.
also in that high post. She can shoot the three. And I'm talking more now about taller players that are just able to
Yeah.
move a little bit more laterally and are able to guard multiple positions as well.
Yeah.
They just
Yeah.
kind of remind me of me a little bit when
Yeah.
I watch their game.
I like that. I like that. All right. So
Hmm.
I want to get your thoughts on the WNBA. Like right now, we're not even a month in the season, but the storylines are really heating up. The Fever
Hmm.
have found a way to get a few wins without Caitlin Clark. Kelsey
Hmm.
Mitchell stepped up big. She's had 24 points and 17 to lead her team in both the wins. And then there was the Valkyries. My goodness.
Yeah,
They somehow
I think they're surprising people
surprised me.
too. Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, what do you think about? I mean, they surprised me blowing out Vegas. I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah.
Although I did say I think people are underestimating the Valkyries, and I feel like they would be my team that could really do some damage late,
Hmm.
in the season. But what are your thoughts on it? You look at and you played against the
Hmm.
Valkyries also. What did you think about that? Were you surprised?
Yeah, that's a new franchise, and a lot of people are also there to like prove themselves for the first time. So I
Mhm.
think once they have that all sorted out, they're actually a really good team. I love Veronica Burton is the one. I played with her in Dallas, and I think she's a very intelligent point guard. She's a lot
Mhm.
more comfortable in her 3-point shot now. Even after the first test game, I came to her and I was like, nah, you better shoot every single three when someone goes down under that screen. So just seeing her growth and her being able to also lead that team, I think she's being
Mhm.
really aggressive and setting up the game. Love to see that. Kahleah Thornton just coming over a championship, bringing that energy
Mhm.
in. I think is great. And yeah, I mean, I like the Valkyries a lot.
You know who else I like a lot? I like Monique Billings. I know she was in
Absolutely.
Phoenix and then she
Hmm.
but I felt like I don't know why people weren't giving her like a full contract. Like her energy, her motor that
Hmm.
she plays with, how hard she plays with both ends.
Hmm.
And I mean, she was facing that with Asia in a way where I was like,
Yeah.
ooh, offensively, defensively,
Oh,
like
I
I've
hate guarding
always loved
her.
her game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
She
that's a
is
player you
so
hate guard,
explosive. I played
right?
against Mo since UCLA days. So when we
Mm.
would play them, obviously, like it was always Monique Billings. Like she's the
Yes.
one. And she, I think, is a very good example for someone to just keep going in the league. No, it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter if you get cut, if you get traded. Like, she is just so good at keeping that positive mindset and that growth mindset.
Mm-hmm.
She also has a book called Inner Balance. Like, she's very big on that, and I feel like
Yes.
throughout my career, I've learned so much in that aspect from Mo,
Mm-hmm.
because I
Yeah.
mean, when LA cut her, she was supposed to really be that person on LA. I think it was like a year ago. Then she was
I
with
don't know
us
how
in
they cut
Dallas
her. I
for
remember when they cut her. I
their
was like,
loss. Their
how did
loss.
you cut
Like,
her?
yeah, that was
Yeah.
weird. But I think now being able to be in a new franchise and be in the Bay, I think it's good for her. And honestly, it doesn't matter where you land, you still keep the game to yourself. So I think she's a really good example for just persevering
Mm-hmm.
through that lifestyle of like just professional basketball.
Let's talk about the cream of the crop because the Liberty and Lynx
Hmm.
are just killing right now. I think at this
Hmm.
moment, 9-0 and 8-0, which will probably
Hmm.
change by the time this airs because
Hmm.
they've just been rolling. And I know you guys haven't played everybody yet, but when you look at, you guys have played Minnesota and had a really good, actually a good outing, fell
Hmm.
short. But when you think about the Lynx, like what is it that's just making the difference for them?
The links, I would say, having really having the right pieces around Fee. Fee is in
Mm-hmm.
phenomenal shape. She's really leading the pack, and I think that she's just she wants it all. You can tell, like, that loss last year is something that motivates her.
Mm-hmm.
But I honestly didn't expect anything else from both of those teams. They were both in the championship. They're both playing elite basketball. And you can just tell, like, the percentages of 3-point shooting, the shots that they take. They're really precise and smart shots. And they
Mm-hmm.
already have that team team chemistry that is very valuable in winning these games. Like the last possession, for example, when we lost against Minnesota, it was like they
Mm-hmm.
were just playing blindly with each other. Like Natisha just like pushing the ball and keep running, although we were just out there closing out Kahleah, McBride, and it was just like, oh, okay, like they have it down. So it's fun to
Yeah.
see where you want to be at and what really good basketball also looks like. Everyone
Yeah.
in their form, because I think they're also very different in a way.
There's still some teams that you have not faced. The Aces, the Liberty, the Fever, the Dream, the Wings, the Sun. Is there ever a team that you like circle on your calendar like, oh yeah, we they don't want to see me. That's the team I want to
Yeah,
play. Who is that team?
I would say the Liberty.
Oh,
I'm excited for the Liberty. Yeah, for sure. I think. I mean, they won. They're the best, so I feel like I always want to compete against the best.
there you go. Okay, so let's get into some too early awards. It's really too early to give out awards, but
Mhm.
since you were the most improved player in 2023, I got a few to ask you. Who do you see taking their game to that next level? Right now, the people that are, I think that may be in the running, Natasha Cloud, 10 points,
Mhm.
3.9 rebounds, 6.6 assists. New York looking
Mhm.
good with her at the helm. Alicia Gray
Mhm.
is, woo, she's like off to a really hot start. We always talk about Ryan
Mhm.
Howard and Alicia Gray being that two-way player, but now points, 20 points a game, 5.3 assists, and almost 5 rebounds a game. Who do you look at
Mhm.
and go, if I had to give an award right now, who would it be?
Um, I would probably, out of the people that you just
Yeah.
named, well, I'm either giving it to Gabby Williams or
Come on.
Ryan Howard, because I think Atlanta is really surprising people right now, and Ryan is just really doing her thing. I mean, she's always been a lead,
Mm-hmm.
but now her game is just at a different
Mm-hmm.
level, and you can really like just appreciate that. I just wouldn't give it to Alicia because to me, I've played with her. She's always been a lead, and like she has an Olympic gold medal. So I'm like, all right, okay,
People were sleeping on her, but she always been like this.
yeah, people have really been sleeping on her. Like, absolutely. I think she's always proven that she's
Mm-hmm.
great. But obviously, like with her years in Dallas first, and then with her years in Atlanta, they just haven't been successful enough for her to have some light on her.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I think improvement wise, yeah, Ryan or Gabby.
I could have put in there Camila Cardoso. She's at 10 points per game. Aaliyah Edwards, who was out but back in. But you saw her in Unrivaled.
Yeah.
She's improved so much. And then I think the last one would be Rickea Jackson from the Sparks, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many players, and I think the league only becomes more and more competitive in my view because I think there's just also so much more to play for. Like
Okay.
besides, like I think it's harder and harder to get into the league, and it's probably always been like that, but the older I get, the more I see how much it takes to be
Mhm.
there and how much people take actually pride in their development. And you only see the top dogs that are always in the gym, that are working on their game, that are working on their strength and conditioning. You only see them really crystallizing themselves out to the top. So that's just something cool that I feel like I've seen along the league. And yeah, there's so many people that just continue to
Yeah.
improve while I'm like developing in this league.
All right, so let's talk about the rookies now, because this Rookie of the Year race is going to be something. Kiki Irafan
Mm.
just won the Rookie of the Month. What I loved about that is that
Mm.
she said, "Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing." So, that
Yeah,
but
good
she's
for her.
found like her joy again. She's happy, excited to be playing with her teammates. And, that resurgence, from college to pros sometimes can be a little bumpy depending on what team you have, depending on your teammates. So it's great to see her really thriving. Do you think
Yeah,
that she could win the Rookie of the Year? And if not, who?
I'm a little biased. I've been saying Lexi Held for my team. If she doesn't get six women of the year or something like that, then I mean, I'm a fan of her
Yeah.
game. I didn't really hear about her before, but I love
Mm,
Lexi. Like she's just so swaggy with the ball. She can shoot that three. She plays really poised.
mm,
But I love Kiki also at
mhm,
USC, and my vote early on would have definitely been her. She plays super explosive. The way like her body is just strong, and seems like she doesn't really have to adjust on that aspect. Now, okay, now people will kind of know her game and scout her better and know what to
mhm.
expect. So I'm really wondering how she will respond to
Yeah.
that. But I mean, I just love how she's
Yeah.
playing. She's dominating on the board, dominating the rim. So it's just I'm excited to see who can really like persevere throughout the whole season.
Hey guys, we got to take a quick timeout so we can have a little bit deeper dive into this Rookie of the Year conversation. But I'm going to need a little assistance, so I'm using Microsoft Copilot to help me get some answers. Copilot, are you ready to talk about this year's WNBA rookie class?
Absolutely, Lisa. This rookie class has been electric, and the race for Rookie of the Year is shaping up to be one of the most competitive in recent memory. Let's break it down.
Okay, I'm going to read off some blind resumes, and I want you to tell me which of these players you think should be the Rookie of the Year in your perspective. Here we go. Our first rookie averages 14.7 points per game, 6.7 assists per game, and her team is 1-9. Our second rookie is averaging 13.7 points per game, shooting 37% from three, and her team is 4-6. Our third rookie is averaging 14.6 points per game, 9.4 rebounds a game, and her team is 4-6. So, just based on these resumes, who do you think is leading the Rookie of the Year race?
Just based on these numbers, the third rookie has the strongest case right now, scoring similar across all three, but her rebounding gives her a major impact on both ends. The second rookie's efficiency from deep is impressive. Their individual contributions could be the difference maker in this race.
So, you're saying it's a two-player race between rookie 2 and 3?
Yep, I think they're currently in the lead.
All right, time for the big reveal, guys. So, those two rookies are Kiki Irifan and Sonia Citron. The other rookie was Paige Beckers. Now, that's interesting because I think, first of all, we have to remember that Paige Buckers was out with a concussion protocol. So maybe her numbers not has she doesn't have the time for her numbers to go up. I think that's a fair argument. I think the other thing is that Sonia Citron, I'm not surprised by. Obviously, I watch college women's basketball. She's an excellent two-way player. Her defense has been outstanding on some of these veteran guards. But I think for me, it's also her three-point shot, nice, 37%, as we talked about, but also her cuts back door, moving without the ball. And then Kiki Irifan, who's also a very good passer, has just been outstanding. Her facing off with these veteran post players. And listen, she's been giving them all that they can handle. I love her engine and her motor. But two things I say: heart and effort you can't teach, and she's got both. But do you think it changes things if I told you that Paige Beckers was the number one overall pick in the WNBA draft this year, and Sonia and Kiki were number 3 and 4?
It definitely adds an interesting layer. The number one pick comes in with massive expectations, shaping performance perception, especially in an award race. But ultimately, Rookie of the Year should be about court impact, not draft position. If Sonia and Kiki are producing and contributing to wins, they deserve to be in the conversation.
And you know what? It's still a very long season, so we never know what's going to happen. But I'm wondering, co-pilot, what other Rookie of the Year race does this remind you of in WNBA history?
This race reminds me of 2001, when Jackie Stiles edged out Lauren Jackson by 12 votes, despite Jackson later becoming one of the greatest players in league history, showing how early narratives can shape voting. This year's Rookie of the Year battle feels just as close.
Wow, I never knew Jackie Stiles won Rookie of the Year over Lauren Jackson. That's kind of absurd. Oh, not I shouldn't say absurd because I guess it happened, but Lauren Jackson was a phenomenal rookie. Wow. Okay. Find out new information every single day. All right, you heard it from Copilot. The Rookie of the Year race is as tight as it gets, and I truly think it really is anybody's game. When you think about them, the rookies, they all had this sort of stories, funny stories too, about veterans welcoming them to the league. Do you have any of those stories? Like, what veteran really? Did anybody check you in your gut a little bit when you got to the W?
She's on my team. I told you, 18.
Oh,
Like, oh my, and DeWanna, like both of them, they were just, I hated
oh
it. I
my
hate my
gosh.
season in the bubble. Like, we were down 20-2 or 22-2.
Oh,
And that was just embarrassing. Like, that was just, but they wanted to bully us. I think they were on a personal mission, just to really show us. And we were the youngest team in the league, no
yeah,
excuses, but I felt it. So I don't feel bad for any type of rookie having to go through this because I went through it myself. And yeah, Sylvia Fowles
yeah.
too. Like that was,
Oh, Big
yeah,
Seal got you too?
yeah, for sure. Yeah, she got me.
The players that played in Unrivaled, it was so much fun watching you guys get better. How much of that conditioning and what you see from even the other players who played in Unrivaled, how much of an impact is that having on your success right now?
Actually, I really feel like from 3-on-3, you really learn how to find the next action. Like, even if that one-on-one isn't necessarily working, you really look around a lot
Hmm.
quicker and you're more
Hmm.
reactive. That's what I've found for myself, like being able to dribble that ball down to the post and then seeing what's
Hmm.
going on. We worked on that too. But I think it's just, yeah, I mean, conditioning like 3-on-3 was
Yeah.
ridiculous. Like, it was so fast, super intense in terms of like having to react quick to the pickup points. But so it definitely made you like get into
Yeah.
shape, whether you want it or not. But what I love about 5-on-5 is where you can really run and you have that middle ground just to kind of have that transition from the
Hmm.
backcourt to the
Hmm.
front court. You can turn around even on defense and then like attack upwards. So I think it's just a different flow of
Yeah.
the game that I appreciate, because 3-on-3 was just a lot quicker. And yeah, it was very
Hmm.
different, but I like both. I just love to
Yeah.
hoop, so I think both were fun games. But I think the aspect of like 5-on-5 and then bringing two other people there who now create less space or give you less space
Hmm.
on defense, you do have to be able to maneuver around a lot more, like especially when you come off pick
Yeah.
and rolls, like you have that other defender right there, and then you have a whole cross court to pass to. That's not the case in 3-on-3, and I did miss it a little
Yeah.
bit.
So you talked about hooping.
Mhm.
I know that you had a few times met with Jimmy Butler. You guys are friends. He came and helped you. What is
Mhm.
it like? We know that the NBA guys, our brothers, are probably our number one supporters. If we just really put it out
Yeah.
there, they love the way we
Mhm.
play. They're always supporting. We see that camaraderie even happening with Halliburton and Caitlin in Indiana.
Mhm.
Can you just talk about what it's like to have an NBA player as a friend that you hoop with, and what type of advice has he given you?
I mean, they go through the same things that we
Mhm.
do. And I think the respect level and actually knowing what you have to all do for a 2-hour game, that is a shared bond. Like, it's not just the 2 hours that you're there. No, it's really the preparation leading up to the game. It's what you do after the game, and being able to appreciate, hey, yeah, I am busy, but I'm taking out my time. Like Jimmy really took out his time to really be with us in the gym. He brought his friends out, and we all played 3-on-3 just to like get some more reps. And we appreciate that, because sometimes he would just stop, talk about something, and it's just like, yeah, that makes sense. I didn't view it that way. So let's do it again and let's get it
Yeah.
right. So I think obviously there's just so much shared knowledge to give. So much knowledge. Like Kyrie, I think, is also a person, like he always comments on games, and I love his view on the game. He supports the women's basketball game too, and I just like, I love seeing that. You see people on the sideline when they're even talking, and it's like, oh, like take that shot, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's like, yeah, like why wouldn't I take that shot? So it's really great when you have your male colleagues. I mean, that's really what we are. We're colleagues. Um, yeah, show some appreciation for the game, and also encourage you to be better. He was also like, he told me after one game, he was like, are you, nah, you were soft. They overestimated you. And I'm like, I just looked at him. I'm like, are you talking shit right now? Like, what's going on? But that didn't leave me. So now this summer I've just been playing, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm sure he's not gonna
I
say
love that though, because you got to be able to tell the truth.
yeah,
You and I had some
yeah,
deep conversations, and I'm like, listen, if you want my opinion, you got to be able to handle the truth, because the truth is that you can be amazing and you have so much potential. And I'm so happy that you're having the success, because you put in so much hard work during the off season to get to where you are, not going, overseas or home, maybe to Germany, but staying
yeah.
and putting in the work. And that hard work is really paying off. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
I know we talked about before just the mental side of it, and you really want to be an advocate for mental health. Have you found any things and tools that have really helped you to get through tough times whenever things feel like it is getting hard or you're overwhelmed?
I meditate, so I think it's always good to really be with
Mhm.
yourself, and um and like kind of breathe through anxiety
Yeah.
sometimes, because sometimes I don't even feel nervous, but I can tell my body's like giving me signs of being nervous. So just kind of like sitting down, taking a second, like, no one else will judge you if you just take a second for yourself. So
Yes.
like breathing through it, and also knowing that hard days are part of it. Like really knowing that hard days are part of it. And if you need to cry, if you really need to isolate yourself for a second, like do so, and do it, with the knowledge that, okay, it's okay to have this bad day, and I'm just kind of like getting through this, and I know that tomorrow will be better. So also looking forward to it. And then obviously, like, we also had some conversations around
Yes.
it, talking to God,
Yes.
that
Let's go.
just releasing
Yeah.
it, just giving it
Yeah.
free. I feel like just trusting a higher power has also helped me. Just to, there's so much pressure that I think we put the most pressure on
Mhm.
ourselves, and oftentimes that can really like intimidate you. So all these thoughts within you, just kind of like releasing them, and also affirming good things coming your
Yes.
way, um, manifesting good things for yourself, and also really picturing that for yourself, because you have to speak it out. You have to think it to be
That's
it.
it. Let's
And
go. You're doing so good.
yeah, yeah, I tell you, it comes in ups and downs. Like it's part of
Mhm,
it though.
mhm. That's good. That's good. And I'm so happy for you as we talk about all of those types of things, more in private. But I think it's good to share with people so that they know, listen, it's not always peaches and creams. And sometimes there's some difficult times, and, we get through it. And also having, mentorship, getting through it together is helpful. So
Yeah.
the last thing I have for you, we'd like to ask some questions. It'll go quickly. Don't worry, there's no wrong answers. Okay, so we got to create the perfect
Those stress
player.
me
You
out.
stressed out now? Come on, Satou, you got this. Create the perfect
Yeah,
player. The perfect player. She would have the handles of who?
Maya Moore.
Okay, the mid range of who?
No, no, no.
You
Let's
already
go
went.
back. Let's go.
I'm about to say, well, Maya's mid
Handles
range.
Chelsea Gray.
Okay,
Chelsea
okay, she'd
Gray.
have the handles
Midi.
of.
Yeah, handles Chelsea
Okay,
Gray.
the mid range game of
Yeah,
Maya
Maya.
Moore. The defense of.
I'll give it to Dejanay. Why not?
Okay, the 3-point shot of.
Um, I'll give it to Sab. Why not?
Okay. And the post game of
Lisa, I gotta give you
Oh,
that.
you gonna give it to
I gotta
me?
give
Let's
you
go.
Yeah, I'm giving you that, of
Hey, I'm
course.
blocking shots. I
have
got
to.
you. Trust me. I got you. Footwork, whatever you need.
Uh-huh. No, literally. When you showed it to me too, it looked so easy. It looked way too easy. I'm like, oh my God, I need to work on that.
Oh, the post moves we
Yeah.
did? Yeah.
Yeah. Like it looks different when you see it happening from a person at just like perfection.
Yeah. But you got it. You did well.
Perfected.
You're a great student. And I can see that the more you keep doing it and going through it with the footwork, everything we
Yeah.
worked on can be done down low, can be done out on the wing. You got it.
Mhm.
Okay, so tell me this. Are you a trash talker or do you just say it in German or how's this trash talking going for you?
I respond to trash
Mm,
talking. I feel like I do talk a little bit. Some would say a lot, but I feel like it's more so like a
okay.
response, not initiating it right away.
Okay. So if
But
somebody pop off, it's like you got to clap back. Okay.
yeah, for sure.
All right. Fair enough. I feel like I was the same way. One player who is not in the league right now who you think should be.
We just waived Kaylee Jones.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I was surprised that Atlanta waived her. I don't want to talk anything against my organization, but I think she belongs on a team. Like, she's really skilled. I was happy when we picked her up, but we just couldn't keep her because she was on a hardship. I think we had her on a hardship contract, so we were not able to keep her because AT is coming back now. But she should definitely be in the league. People from my class, once I think about it, Ruthie Hebert, my college teammate from Oregon, baby, and I feel like the league is not doing good in protecting mothers and their development. It's part of being a woman, and I think we need to do better protecting and developing the best players in the world if they choose to start a family. And the way that Chicago did her, I don't know. Like, she was a legend in college basketball, so I don't know why she is not on a WNBA team. But I do think that could have been prevented. But like I said, like, this league is just so hard to make and to stay in that that other people would, start other arguments.
Okay. What's worse, missing both free throws or getting crossed over?
I think getting crossed over, because that would be a highlight.
Really? Missing both free throws.
Are you falling down? Are you falling down?
I don't know.
Like, I will never want that to happen to me. Those free throws, I'll get them back. I'll be at the line next position. But like that grab, I don't know.
Okay, good point. You versus Nyara, 1-on-1, who wins? And what's the score?
I always say me.
You gonna say?
I always say me. Have to. 11-8.
Okay. Now what would she say?
She would say herself, and she would try to back me down. Like, she's a lot stronger than me, and I hate that. Like, we were playing in December in New York, just like some open gym, just for me to get ready for Unrivaled, and like, she's just so strong and explosive. So she has that on me, but I just need to be a little bit more.
Finesse. Okay, so maybe we'll see her in Unrivaled. Maybe y'all get a chance to play the 1-on-1 tournament. You never know.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Never know.
Between the Lines is all about cutting through the noise and getting to what really matters in women's basketball. And that's why I'm using Microsoft Copilot to help me prep each week. Whether it's getting ready for an interview or breaking down a box score, Copilot helps me find the trends and storylines that matter most in the league. Instead of getting lost in a bunch of open tabs, I use Copilot to get a real-time assist, keeping me focused and keeping the chaos in check. So if you're looking for a smarter way to prep, create, and stay in the game, try Copilot. It's always on your team.
All right. Well, thank you, Satou, so much. That is a wrap for us. It's been an amazing day. I'm so glad that you took the time to talk to me. Thank you for opening up, giving us a little insight of what's going on in your life, and especially what's going on there at the Phoenix Mercury. You guys in 4th place, wishing you the best of luck. And you always know I am a phone call away. So thanks everybody for tuning in Between the Lines. We are presented to you by Microsoft Copilot, and we'll be back next week for another episode. You can find Between the Lines with Lisa Leslie on your YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Between the Lines is part of the Just Women Sports Network. Follow Just Women Sports on all your favorite social channels to get all your latest women's sports news. And you can follow me, Lisa Leslie, at Lisa Leslie on IG, X, and TikTok. Between the Lines is produced by Taryn Penna and edited by Chris Plunder.